applying for a bigger job than this. Does that make sense? I don't care. One person. You guys get that? I don't care. So, but I'm going to tell you this. Give me a number, guys. What you think. Somebody may say, if I say, how much money do you think you would like to be able to have to live on a monthly basis? And there's no judging here. We never judge anybody, right? Landmark Education, right, Anisha? We don't judge. But just give me a number. What do you think it's going to be?
$1,762,046.70.
Fantastic.
A month?
No.
Okay.
A month.
Okay. So fantastic. She's the alpha dog here. Okay. Okay. So let me just throw out some numbers. So I had a guy say to me this morning, $100 grand a month. I go, that's a lot. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. JV. But most of the answers that I got were around $20,000 a month. Okay. And the other, let's say 40%, I need $10,000 a month to be able to live and retire, whatever. But 10 to 20 is usually what I get. Okay? So, I said, do you know how much money that you need in investments and or cash, but really in investments that you need to retire? They said, no. Okay. They said, and this is not excluding your house. This is excluding your house as a net worth vehicle. Okay? You guys ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki?
Yes.
You guys ever heard of that guy? So, he does not consider your house an asset. He considers it a liability because you pay the mortgage. An asset is something that pays you. So excluding your house. So I'm going to give you guys just a couple numbers that I want you to think about. And then you're going to say, oh, blank. So, at $10,000 a month, if you want to have $10,000 a month in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, okay? I'm going to give a rate of return, whatever you do with your money. Oh, dude, I flip houses, I get 25%. Oh, it's in a Pacific Savings, I get 0.001. I'm going to say 5% return on money, okay? So, $10,000 a month is $120,000 a year, okay? At 5%, you need to have a net worth, not including your house, of $2.4 million in assets. Even at 10,000. Okay? I want to make 20,000. Almost $5 million, 4.8 in assets, bringing you money, and it's got to be at 5%. See, when I say that, because here's what I'll tell you. Most people say, "Oh, dude, if I can become a millionaire, I'm going to be living big." What I'm saying is, if you actually do the math behind the numbers, $10,000 a month, pays a mortgage, pays whatever it is, dude, you got to have $2.4 million, excluding where 95% of the people have 95% of their wealth, which is the equity of their principal residence. That aside, apartment buildings, investments, all those things. Here's what I'll tell you. Is anybody mad at me yet?
No.
But what I want you guys to do is this. Look. You guys go into a doctor, you ask you that questions. What is the one thing you want from a doctor? Hey, dude, tell me what I need to do. Oh, you got to start eating. You put on 12 pounds. You got to stop eating carbohydrates or whatever it is. You got to do this or whatever. You got to stress out less. My doctor says you got to meditate. Okay. You have to do these certain things. I just want to know, right? I just want to know. But so, a couple things. You guys got to be very clear on what the end game is, though. Okay, and then you guys got to make that a game unto itself. So, I wrote down, I want you to treat your bank statements as report cards. Okay? You guys get that? And here's what I'll tell you. If they're report cards and you're taking a class, I want you to look at it like this. Here's a good barometer. December 31st, 2017, December 31st, 2018. Just look at the balances. What did I produce? Well, I paid down a lot of debt. I'm just saying, what did I produce? And don't sell yourself, well, I paid off, this or whatever. We'll talk a little bit about that. But, okay, that makes sense? So, Drill number 3. These are the 2 drills for finances. Write down on 1 sheet of paper your monthly expenses. That's it. You don't have to go to Wharton School of Business and take finance classes. Write down on 1 piece of paper your monthly expenses. Will they change? Okay, we'll do it for a couple months. Do it for 3 months, 6 months. Find out what it takes to operate your life. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, I come from this premise that if I'll talk to 20 people or 200 people, everybody says, oh, yeah, we know to do that. My question is, have you done it? Well, then it's relevant. If you haven't done it, you know to do it, take the gloves off, do it. Because you're not going to make a transformation. Look, I can remember when I was answering phones at a real estate office when I was 18 years old. And there were some really smart guys. And then there was this one guy that farmed like these condos in Diamond, and he was not that smart. But he was the one making all the money. And he was working hard. And I was saying, oh, I'm going to Cal State Fullerton US to get all this education. I said, I made the point right there when I saw this guy that was knocking doors and he says, bro, he said, it's not always about the education, it's the application of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? There's a quote called persistence is omnipotence, and it says, you know, in the quote it says, the world is full of educated derelicts. In that quote. So what I'm saying is, I don't want you guys saying, yeah, we know to do this. I want you doing it. Does that make sense? And this is simple stuff. Write down on 1 piece of paper. Okay? Number 4, write down a target list of all non-recurring debt you intend to pay off by December 2019.
Number 4.
Yes. Write down a target list of all recurring debt that you intend to pay off by the end of 2019. Recurring debt is you got a monthly mortgage payment, you got 15 years on it. You're not paying it off. Don't be unrealistic. But you've got $3,000 on a credit card. If I busted my tail, I could get that off. I want you to have targets and hit lists. Does that make sense? Do you think a plane ever leaves an airport without a target?
No.
Without a destination? That's all we're doing here, guys. But I want you to write it down. So Anisha's gonna get me a count, then I'm gonna come back 90 days from now, 25th of January, one day after my birthday. I want a birthday cake with all you guys here saying, dude, we started doing this stuff. The simple stuff. Okay? So, next. 3.
5.
Oh,
No, yeah, so these are the drills. So I put point 3, but I'm gonna, so drill 4, you're right. But
Okay.
the next point, okay? So I'm gonna try to speed this thing up. You guys are okay if I run just a hair light?
Yeah, okay.
Good. I must monitor my use of time. Oh, dude, I'm in Tom Ferry coaching, and I love Tom. But I'm in Tom Ferry coaching. He said to build a schedule. Let me just say something. I'm assuming that I'm not talking to kindergartners. Okay? I'm assuming you guys know that a business has a schedule. I'm assuming that you guys know that you are a business. I'm assuming you know that if you go to the Apple store, they just will say, we decided to close early. You're saying, hey, dude, 9 to 8. You have a schedule. You have operating hours. Well, we got into real estate to be flexible. I'm assuming you have a schedule. If you don't have a schedule, see me. Here. There. Call me. Okay? Does anyone here have a schedule?
Yes.
Does anyone here fall to 100%?
No.
There are only the following reasons why you don't follow a schedule. People don't. I'm not saying you. You just got to find out what it is. They are lazy. My brother is what I consider one of the best real estate agents I know. Okay? I love him. I'll just leave it at that. We've worked alongside each other for 22 years. Okay? My brother and I are the odd couple. That show from the 60s. I sleep with one eye open. My brother could never work another day in his life. Dude, he gets in, dude, I'm like, how soon can I get it? It's the exact opposite. Just got to know what the reasons are that are stopping you. It may be your personality. Well, we really don't want to work that hard. Okay? You just got to be okay with the results depending on that. Number two, their goals are not important. Going back to that scenario, when you see somebody working really hard, their goals are really important to them. You guys get that? Number three, they do not believe that the actions they take will lead to results. I'm letting you guys know that. Super, super prevalent in sales. What does that mean, Derek? They don't believe that their actions will make a difference. If you go say, you got to knock out 100 doors, you got to do it for them, you got to call expired listings, you got to call your center of influence, and you do all that stuff and you get 0 results. Because we've all gotten 0 results. Okay? I got off to the slowest start possible in real estate. So for some of you new guys, I'm a product of I'm the turtle. Okay? Does that make sense? I am not the hare. I'm the guy but when the turtle spent too much money or got tired or whatever, I kept crawling. Okay? Does that make sense? So, but there's going to come a point where that eat, pray, love, is this really going to work? Well, now you got to go from that crossover. Well, I've got to go off what, Steve Beaumonte told me at Tom Ferry to now it's blind faith. I got to go for it or not. Does that make sense? I'm going to tell you what I did. Okay? Because I was discouraged all the time. And I would knock doors 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, and cold call out of the yellow pages 5 days a week. And then hold open houses on Saturdays. I did 6 deals my first year. Now you can say, oh, 6 deals, that's not bad. Working the amount of hours, discouraged. And dude, I was reading Tommy Hopkins, How to Master the Art. I was doing you told me to do things, I didn't even question it. 6 deals, could get discouraged. I said, I need to find inspiration. So what I did is I called up all the top agents. Number 1 agent at Remax, can I come meet you? Number 1 agent at Central Line, can I come meet you? Number 1 agent at Prudential, Glass Bunk. Started studying them. I said, they're all normal people. That's what I found out. They didn't give up. Worked really hard. I said, okay, I can keep going now. There's no magic pill that they have that I don't have. So what I would tell you guys is this, and I'm going to let you know, Charles, one of the biggest things that I would say that, my guys that work with me, that, sit right outside my door, the number one thing that they would take away, and they'd say, this is why we made the leap. Because I hope you don't think this, okay? Because I'm a real estate agent just like you guys. They say, oh, dude, it must be easy for Derek. Just clicking, everything rocking, rolling, every jelly, man. He just handles everything like that scene from The Matrix. Just clicking, money flowing in. When they get in there, they say, oh, dude, he gets blown out. He fumbles on it. He's a master of scripts. He still can't overcome every objection. They see that, behind the scenes. And I'm letting you know, I believe that the biggest reason these guys are going through the roof is that they say, oh, he's human, puts on his pants the same way. If I just try to do what he's doing, I can get the same results. And he still gets rejected all the time and has losses all the time. That make sense?
Yes.
You guys getting this?
Yes.
Okay. They don't believe in what they are doing. I'm just going to tell you this. You have to be selling something that you believe in. And if you don't believe in real estate, then you have to have a come to Jesus talk with yourself. Okay? But you should write down here's what I'll tell you. You should mentally write down all of the reasons you believe in your product. I don't care, my dad sold vacuum cleaners door to door. He believed in the product. Okay? So, and he go in, let me just, any questions? He believed in it. Okay? It can create a lot of wealth. That most of your clients have most of their wealth tied up in their house. So it's, I've seen stories where, they were conservative, but I've had people pay for kids' college educations and transform the family tree from the equity in their house. I have so many reasons why I believe in the product that I'm selling that it makes it easy to sell. So I'll give you this example. I wrote down pharmaceutical sales, give an example. Then I wrote down next, so I'm going to fill it for next. So here's what I want you to do, schedule. Drill, number 5. Write down everything you do for all the next 90 days.
Write down.
Everything you do for the next 90 days. I'm going to let you know this is not easy. I'm preparing you this. Anusha, can you write a note?
Yeah.
Have Derek email me his 15-minute increment schedule. Okay? Elon Musk, Tesla, we talked about that? 5-minute schedules. Every 5 minutes he can tell you what he's doing. I said, I can't do that. That's a little bit intense, and I'm pretty intense. I'll go 15 minutes. Okay? But what I want you guys to do, Monday, 8 o'clock, I got in, whatever, I did X. 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, just put down prospected. Whatever it is, write it down. Not every 15 minutes what you did. 1 to 4, showed property. From the time you get in till the time you leave. I suggest even doing something, and we've done this, here's what I'm saying. We've done this, and this is a little crazy. Tell my wife, we gotta get better on time management. We've done this with saying, I can't go to Trader Joe's 3 times a week. We need a better grocery list. You'd be surprised at all of the things that come up. I can't go pick up my own laundry. Call the laundry. Do you guys deliver? Yeah, we deliver. Okay, great. I don't have a half hour. Burning $500. Might as well just burn $500. So, you'd be surprised at all of the stuff that you do throughout the day. So when I actually, by the way, I try to practice everything that I preach. That's why and I learn more from my failures than I do my successes. So when I can have that confession about Trader Joe's 3 times a week, okay? But what I'm saying is this, if you were to say, Derek, really, what's the number one thing that we could do? Write down what you do. Okay? I talked to somebody and I asked them, what hours do you work? They said, I work usually from 9 to 5:30. Great. What do you do? Oh, I do this from 9 to 10:30. I go, what do you do after that? Well, it depends. Can't have that. Okay? You guys may realize that you don't know what to do, and that's even okay. Even getting you to that place of, I got nothing to do. Okay? You're going to get there. When you find out, when you start doing that stuff, okay, you're going to get there. Okay? The other thing that I'm going to suggest, you guys should have a billable rate. Okay? What does that mean? Divide the amount of hours that you work, okay, and the amount of money that you make. Okay? I've always known to do this, but our friend Colette Ching, when we were eating carrot cake at some event in Austin, said $1,066.47. That's it. So burning a half hour to go pick up shirts is burning $500. You guys get that? Okay. Number 4, I'll just say this. So you've got 5. So I want you to write down next. I must have a very clear and memorized value proposition and be able to answer the question, why should I hire you? Do you guys would agree all these are basics, right? Do you think that any of these things, these limited points that I'm talking about, are important?
Yes.
Can you repeat that again?
I must have a clear and memorized value proposition and be able to answer the question, why should I hire you? Okay? Let's be honest. I've done thousands of deals. I looked at mine and it wasn't good enough. Okay? I said, could I deliver this in an elevator on Wall Street if I had 20 seconds? It's called an elevator pitch. You guys have maybe heard that? Could I deliver it? Well, I could tell them all this, but I would go on for 20 minutes. If I had 15 seconds, was I clear and concise? I said, no. I'm working on my value proposition and the delivery of it after 25 years as a licensed real estate broker. I suggest you do the same. Look, Anusha, I would say this. you have a lot more experience in this, and I'll just say this. I mean, I think the hiring process in real estate should be this. Why should I hire you? Give me the reasons. Number one, that's the number one question. Number two, why should a buyer or seller hire you? Well, I'm nice, and you know, those are not strong enough. You're going to have a tough time in this career. Like, is it getting hot in here? Is it? Okay, but what I'm saying is this. If you guys can master your time, and I'm going to let you guys know, the number one thing that you need to be working on is your value proposition. Okay? I am so committed that you guys get that.
Derek, can we hear yours?
Well, let me give you an example. So I had an agent when I spoke to Beverly Hills, and I want to give you an example. Okay? So she said to me, she goes, hey, I loved what you guys did. And I loved, thanks for coming out, Beverly Hills. I appreciate it. Got a lot of takeaways, a lot of value. She goes, but I wanted to call you right away because I'm stuck. And I go, why are you stuck? She goes, in Beverly Hills, people come to me. I do open houses, I'm calling for sale by owners. I go, you're doing a lot of things. You're in a good place. I go to open houses, and everybody says to me on the west side, I only want things off market. Okay? So, I gave her the following things, Charles. I said, it's not that everybody doesn't have value propositions, it's how you communicate them. So this is what I told her. I said, let's pretend I am the agent. I would do the following. We'll do a little, not role playing, but just a little script. Great, I can appreciate that. Hypothetically, tell me what you're looking for. I'm looking for this, this, and this. Great. Is there a particular reason why you want to find something off market? Because we really don't want to compete, and we see that as the value of a real estate agent. So that's what good tool. Great. So I would say this. Here's what I want you to do, Roxanne. You need to tell them the following things from a value proposition to a buyer. Number one thing. Mr. Buyer, I want you to know the following. Providing search to you is not part of my value proposition. You guys ever seen the movie 8 Mile, Eminem? Mm-hmm. Last scene, where he says all the things that he does wrong? Mm-hmm. Tell the buyer, providing search to you is not part of my value proposition. What? They know that. They go to redfinzillowrealtor.com. So just tell them that in advance. Get out of the way. Dude, that's not what you hire a real estate agent. What you hire a real estate agent for is the following, Charles. Okay? I don't sell you the home. Tell them that too. What? What's your job? I don't sell you the home. I sell you to the listing agent and the seller. That's what I do. Here's how I do it. Here's how I do it. Okay? Number one, I package you up financially. Yes, every agent is going to, okay? We'll talk about horse racing a little bit if we got time. Every agent is going to get you a pre-approval letter, but some may not ask for your source of funds. Most will, especially in the high end. I'm also going to have you supply me with the first page of your FICO scores. Okay? I'm going to package it up. I'm also going to take one other step, because the difference between winning and losing is very, very marginal. Golf, horse racing, getting a home. I'm going to have the lender call up the listing agent and personally go over your 1003 in your file. 20 offers, if you're a listing agent. Okay, let me just ask you guys this. I'm blowing it right now.
You're good. You're awesome. This
Okay.
is phenomenal.
Let me ask you guys this. Anybody ever had an offer on it? Anybody ever taken a listing?
Yes.
Anybody ever had offers on it?
Yes.
Anybody ever had multiple offers on it?
Yes.
Any seller ever asked you, which offer should we take?
Yes.
We know price is a factor. We know terms are a factor. Do any of you guys make the decision to tell Bob and Mary, take this offer because of the other agent on the other side?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
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 Question. What percentage of your recommendation to your seller is based on the selling agent? A lot?
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
Give me a percentage.
80%.
80 to 90%. Mr. Bauer, I know you want off market. 80 to 90% of your success is going to be determined by the agent that you select and the steps that I'm telling you to take. Does that make sense? If you're competing against Redfin, who's got great technology, say, hey, all my clients use the app. Tell yourself 80 to 90% of your success is going to be decided on the actual real estate agent. You guys got to understand that?
That's
Okay,
really
now, there's one take, but you guys got to understand it. Tell it to your buyers and sellers. Now we're thinking about, dude, great app. Okay? Charles, I don't want to lose track on this. Okay, packaging them up. Second of all, I share with them your motivation. Yeah, we've all heard of love letters, but I'm going to do whatever it takes. Can I give you an example? Yes. I had some clients that I found out the seller was moving to Idaho. True story. I drove back to the house and put some Idaho potatoes on their front step. Thanks for showing me your home. Look forward to seeing you grow in Idaho. That's what I said. Agent from KW Norco calls. Did you just leave potatoes at my step? Yes, that was me. We've got 4 offers. You're the only one contingent. We're taking your offer. What I'm saying is this. I don't care if it's delivering potatoes, baseball bats, hand delivering an offer. Charles, if you were to talk to Milton, dude, he's like Coldwell Banker All-Stars. Oh, hey, by the way, you got an offer coming, but I thought I'd bring you lunch. She says, I'd like to hire you. Okay? What I'm saying is this. You got to send a message to the listing agent that you're going to be the person. I cannot tell you. Now, 1,066.47, I cannot tell you when my time was not that valuable. I would go out and sit at real estate offices and wait for listing agents to get in just so I could present offers. Okay? And I would tell the buyers what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, Charles, second part of the value proposition is selling the listing agent on the motivation and why you should be moving. I don't care if it's the picture, the love letter, or a video that you take that some guy at John Hart Real Estate sent me, and I go, dude, that's great. You got to do that, okay? Third thing is this. You guys say that you hire the real estate agent 80 to 90%, which I agree. I'm going to communicate to the listing agent like I've communicated with you. The listing agent is going to make a lot of their recommendation because they want an easy transaction.
Right.
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 Okay? Like you want an easy transaction, the listing agent wants an easy transaction, so they look good for the seller, so they get referrals. So I'm going to over-communicate to say, this is what you get before, this is what you get afterwards. That make sense? I don't have to go into a huge thing, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to give you a discount, I'm going to buy you like an MP3, whatever. No, okay? But you talk to them a little bit about that. So my value proposition, I mean, we don't have time to go into it, but we can talk about it if anybody else wants to see. I got 10 points to my value proposition, okay? But I got to cover this. You okay with that?
Right.
Okay. Memorize the elevator pitch. Okay, so write down your value proposition. Number 6, write down your value proposition to a buyer or a seller. I want you to write it down. And if you struggle with it, then struggle with it. Okay? Figure it out. If you've got a lot of experience, Charles, like I do, part of my value proposition, I've seen almost everything that could happen. If I'm brand new, my value proposition is, Mr. and Mr. Seller, I know you could be talking to Derek. Derek's a wonderful guy. He's actually taught a class at our office. Okay? But I know one thing. Okay? I want you to get this because this is for you. I had somebody do this for me. I know one thing. The most important thing that you want from a real estate agent, or should want, is time. He cannot give that to you. He can give it to you indirectly, but not personally. Mr. Seller, do you want personal time?
Yeah.
You want personal time, right? I can give you that. Well, what if you're a little bit inexperienced? Well, let me tell you this, Mr. Seller. This is your value proposition. I'm giving it to you. Okay? Mr. Seller, let me just say this. 25 years ago when Derek got started, experience and knowledge was important. This is your value proposition. Now, you can find everything you want in about 15 seconds using an app. Schools, commute, comps, who the owner is, tax records, all that stuff. You can find it. If you have a phone, smartphone, there's your experience and your information. You don't need Derek for that. You need somebody who's willing to invest time and give you time. There's your value proposition. That make sense?
Yeah.
That's the bonus for you because I love new people. Okay? Write down what your value proposition is. And if you struggle with it, don't give up on it. Feel good about it. I don't care if it's 2 things. Part of my value proposition, I'll just let you know, Charles, what I tell people. Why should we hire you? High energy.
Right.
I tell it to sellers. Well, what do you mean? It's going to get tough. You're going to need energy to keep deals together, keep them from falling apart. You're going to need energy to make sure that things are. I tell people. I put my high energy to work for you. Okay? Whatever it may be. Okay? Okay. Next. Okay? If I have time, I'm going to go through pharmaceutical sales, the example. You know what? I'll go through it because I've only got one more point to cover and 3 more takeaways. So, Anusha, you're not in real estate. You work in pharmaceutical sales. Okay? I'm your boss. You come to me and I say, I got something cool. Come on in. You come to the office, you sit down. Joe, hey, you're not going to believe this. Guess what we got? Guess what we figured out? Been 30 years in the making. We got the cure for cancer. I say that to you. You're my pharmaceutical. I ask you this, Anusha. Think you can sell it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What time do you think you'll start your day? You're on commission sales. What time do you think you'll start your day if you have the cure for cancer? We just got this product. You're the first seller. What time? 4 a.m. How long will you, don't worry, I want to make a point. How long will you work till?
3:30, 3:59.
In the morning. You're going to work 24 hours. Okay. How many days a week will you work?
Every day.
Will you take a vacation?
No.
Probably not for a long time.
Eventually.
If somebody says, no, we're not interested, what will you do?
You're not interested in a cure for cancer?
Yeah. What?
You'll look at them like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
If they say they don't have time for you, what will you say?
You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
Okay? If they say, come back later, you'll say, I'll sit outside your door.
Right.
Because you believe in your value proposition.
Yeah.
I want you guys to write down on that paper where you said, I'd work 24/7. I'd work every day. Now, I don't want you working every day, and I'm not a believer, but here's what I'm saying. If they said, no, you have to listen to what I have to say. Does that make sense? You guys get that?
Yeah.
So Anusha, I just gave Anusha an example. I want you to write down, my value proposition has to be like Derek's pharmaceutical sales example. Cure for cancer. I gotta make it strong. And look, I'm just gonna tell you guys something. Okay? I looked at our value proposition and it wasn't strong enough to the consumer. So we built it strong enough to the consumer. Okay? And look, if we're building world class, I had to go through the following things. I don't want to tell a seller we're going to do something we don't do. I'm just letting you know there's been real estate agents do that. Well, do you do this to sell a house? Yeah, we'll get a drone video, we'll get the Matterport, but you don't usually do that. You don't even know how to do that. Okay? But what I want you to do is this. Restructure your listing presentation. These are the things that we do. Okay? And feel good about it. But deliver exactly what you do and say, these are the results it gets me. Here's my Zillow reviews, here's my sales, all this stuff. I don't care if it's 2 things or 151 things. But be clear about it. Does that make sense? Okay. I must have a clear, concise, and workable business plan. Okay? I want you guys to write this down. Okay? Elements of a clear, simple business plan. Okay? Number 1, goals, schedule, sources of business, steps. Okay? I have a goal to sell 18 houses this year. I'm going to work Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, I'm gonna get off at 4 o'clock on Friday. I'm gonna work Saturday, 6 hours. I'm gonna take Sundays off. You should have a schedule. You should know what it is. Goals, 18, there's your schedule. Sources of business. As a new agent, I'm gonna do open houses. I'm gonna contact my center of influence. I'm gonna call around just listed and just solds, and I'm gonna go preview for sell by owners and work with them. Okay? And I know that they're gonna take a long time, which we can give a whole class on that. Okay, but we're not. I need to know the 4 sources of business. I got 25 sources, I've got 2 sources. You need to know what your sources of business are. These are the steps that I take for sale by owners. I call them all from Red-X, Vulcan 7, Zillow, whatever. I go out and I preview them. I say, I know you're selling it. You need to know what you do. I know you're selling it, save the commission. I know it's going to take you a month to decide. I want to be first in line should you decide to hire a real estate agent. Okay? I want you to do that to 50 people and say, just want to be first in line. How's everything going? Anything I can do to help? Call every Monday after their open houses. And you even say to them, hey, dude, 2016, I get it. I'd be for sale by owner right now too. Right now, buyers are running for the hills. You need a professional. Okay? How do you handle the objection? Hey, Mr. First Sale by Owner, how do you handle the objection? Interest rates are going up. How are your sales skills? Been a long time since you took that class. Sorry, gloves are off. So, goals, schedule, sources of business, your steps in each of those sources of business. Workable, always adding to it. I wrote a 50-page business plan when I officially started my corporation. Sat in a desk. I was going to go get a business loan at Pomona First Federal or whatever, PFF, not even around anymore, got bought. Said, no, I'll suck it up. Not going to do the business loan. Going to bootstrap the sucker, okay? Which I did. But I wrote a business plan. I never looked at it. It was shiny, bright, took it to Kinko's. My stuff now, I'm adding to it all day long. Very, very, it's being added. Systems, whatever. Tweak this on the CRM, talk to my, it's being added all the time. Next level business plan, I want you to write down this. Systems and processes to implement. You guys should know an idea over 2019. What are the things I need to implement in my business? Thank goodness we work for a company where the guy that wrote the book, The One Thing, started the company. Meaning this, you can have 50 projects, and look, I've been accused of this, and it's been not a good thing. I can have 50 great ideas, and none of them get done. So I've been accused of that. And here's what I'll tell you, the only way you'll find out, you got it in your relationships, especially, if you have, you got to make sure that your door's always open and you're not a Johnny above the law. I've had somebody say to me last week, and I'll just say, we don't want to hurt your feelings about this. Okay? So, we're doing marketing and branding and some things, some people nowadays, they say, dude, you work around the clock and you're doing this for us, we don't want to hurt your feelings. Sent out a memo. You're not hurting my feelings. Do you think Steve Jobs didn't want to hear if the phone sucked? Because he was sleeping there? No, he wanted to know if the people thought the phone stunk. Does that make sense? So, systems. Here's the other thing. Write this down. I want you to write down, have a weakness report. Oh man, this is we're almost wrapping up here,
You
dude.
said a weakness report?
Yeah! A weakness report.
Expand on that.
Yeah. All the areas in your business